Hey, it's Brittany, and we're talking about friends right now on the Saving the City podcast.
Saved in the City podcast. Real talk, real faith, real women.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Saved in the City podcast, the space where we do real talk, real faith for real women. I'm your girl, Brittany, founder and host of the podcast in Saving the City, and I'm so excited to have a very special guest with us today, my very best friend, Chastity, the Chastity Nicole.
Hi! Yay!
And of course, my Saving the City sisters. Hey girl, hey.
Hey y'all.
Hey,
Y'all look good.
Girl, you look
I'm happy to
good.
be here with you guys.
Go best friend, go best friend.
Yeah.
So y'all, we couldn't do this episode talking about friendships without me bringing one of the closest friends that I've had for over 20 years.
Awesome.
So we're gonna talk about it on today. I think it looks a little different when you're an adult doing friendships
For sure.
as opposed to being younger doing friendships. Would y'all agree? Would y'all agree?
Yeah, true.
So we're gonna talk about it. All right, so let me just start off here. If you had to use one word to describe yourself as a friend, what would that word be? One word to describe you as a friend, what would it be?
Accountability.
That's good.
You're accountable. So you the accountable friend.
Yeah, I'm the accountable
So you're the friend we don't like that much.
Correct.
Because you
But
gonna
we
always
need.
remind us of what we said we was gonna do, check us on our goals and all the things.
That's me.
Yeah.
So you the accountable friend.
I am.
Yeah.
Okay, I would agree.
I'm the loyal friend.
Yes, you are. Very loyal.
Hold you down.
Sometimes too loyal. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Okay, the loyal friend.
Wow, it's hard. Of course, I'm going to be the. It's hard to wrap it up in one word, but I'm all of those. But I would say bona fide, because I'm like the one that I'm going to be all of those things in the most bona fide way. So yeah, bona fide.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the fun
You sound like you're
friend.
pretty fun.
I see
For
bona
sure.
fide for you in a couple of different ways. Bona fide, like you ride.
Yeah, I didn't took a seat back though. You know what I'm saying?
But like you like a real deal friend. Like that's why I wanted you on this episode, because I feel like you are the embodiment of an amazing friend.
Oh, well, thank you.
So I couldn't have we
beautiful.
couldn't have this talk without having you a part of it.
Okay, well, let's get
Yes, you
into
are
it
bona
then.
fide. I don't know what my word would be. I would say caring.
Caring.
I'm a caring person. I'm a caring friend. So
You're very thoughtful.
try to be. I feel like my life is so busy. I'm not able to be as thoughtful as I would like to be, but I'm working on it. So, but I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So listen. Let's talk about some friendship like experiences,
Okay.
because I've heard a lot of women talk about friendships being harder when they're older. And I know that each of us have had like different experiences.
Yeah.
So, like, how has that been for you all? Have you found friendship harder as you've gotten older, or have you found it something that has been a big part of your life?
Definitely harder for me. I feel like I wear a lot of hats and I'm a lot of things to a lot of people. And I have not done the best job at being very present in all of my friendships, just because I have so many other things to navigate. So I feel like before I was a mom, before I was a wife, it was a little easier because I didn't have to do so many things before I was a business owner. Now it's like I'm trying to be intentional, but I do wish I was more intentional with my friendships for sure.
Makes sense. So, do you have friends?
I
you
do.
have, just, how many friends you have?
Real friends? Probably like 5.
Okay.
I got 5.
What makes a friend and a real friend? Like, what's the distinction?
Okay, so I have friends. I have 5 real friends.
Okay.
And then I have lots of associates. So I have a lot of people I associate with. A lot of people who are in my circles of, different circles of folk. But I have like 5 for real.
Now, that's what my mama said growing up. She said, you're going to be able to count them on your hand, your real friends. What's the difference between a real friend and an associate?
That's a good question. I think when we say real friend, you know me, I like words, right? So to say a real friend, that seems like a lot of pressure because we define that to be something and it's subjective.
Yeah.
it's subjective based on your perspective of what a friend is
Yeah,
versus,
true.
you know, like what the reality of it is, especially if we're talking about currently where we are. I mean, I don't mind being transparent. I'm in my 30s. I'm in my late 30s. So what I would consider a real friend to be in my 20s versus in my 30s is
Definitely
completely
different.
different.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily put, you know, the word in front of, you know, a friend. I just say a friend, and then you categorize them, right? And so that's what I would say. And I'm in a season in my life from, you know, from walking out things, you know, like healing, and I'm on this journey and things like that. I don't define anyone to be an associate, because if you're in my life, if I'm doing life with you, like business, personal, professional, whatever, you're some type of friend, because I need you here. I need your covering. And so so I don't have a definition for an associate. I just have one for a friend.
Got it.
And I just
love what you
categorize
said,
them.
but you put them in
Yeah.
Categories, yeah, for sure.
That makes sense.
I think for me, it's level of vulnerability. I might not be as vulnerable with this group of people versus this group, but I'm kind of like you. I don't know if they're like associates or like we're all friends, but it's just the vulnerability piece. I might be a little less vulnerable or like
What
share
makes
less.
you be more vulnerable with some and not others?
One, I think it's your character, how you show up.
Yeah.
If you're consistent, I think it's those things that I look for.
Yeah.
And then your fruit in your own life, like how you, and I think that's where I determine, like if I can really trust you or what space I'm allowing you in.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I think that's why I have associates, because those are people that you invite me to your birthday party, I'm coming.
Yeah.
But you don't know all my business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't mind you having a girls link up, like, hey girl, I'll come. Absolutely. Because I have a lot of people in the social areas. And so
As the
I am
mayor of Atlanta.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
for sure.
definitely.
As the mayor
Yeah.
of Atlanta. Go
hilarious.
ahead.
So I associate, I hang out, I go places.
Yeah.
But that's not to say I'm going to be sitting on my phone having conversations with you about all of my business. So I do have a distinct, these are the people who I confide in, who know all of my business, and these are the people who I like to have a good time with.
That's good.
How have you all, because I see hands shaking, how have you all, because I think sometimes disappointment in relationships comes from we don't put people in the right places.
Yeah.
What have been some of the things y'all have learned of maybe be able to discern between who goes where in your relationships?
Trust for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because just because you started off as a friend doesn't mean that you're going to stay there, right? So if there are things that have happened that have made me side eye you, we're going to slide you to the other category.
Is
But
that a
if-
conversation that you have, or is that more just
I being honest, no, I haven't had that conversation. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do. No, I've just, slowly crept. You ever seen that Homer when he just back into the bushes? Like, it's like that. Like, I'm just gonna slowly disappear.
yeah,
I like
slowly
that
disappear?
emoji.
Like, so
I
have
know
you had
that
any quick exits, or you just slowly disappear?
It depends on what happened. Some
Yeah.
of them is like,
Bye.
some of them is like, you've shown yourself. I still love you, but I can love you for a distance, and I don't have to show up every time you invite me.
I like that. The word I would say, are we giving a word? So we would say, yeah. It has to be safe. Any relationship, it has to be safe. Going back to what Ty said, I have to be able to trust you. I have to know that whatever we're cultivating, like it's going to be in a way that you're not going to go out and say, oh, she shared this with me. Going back to everything that Ty said, like I want to be able to be vulnerable. There are levels to being vulnerable. And in my relationships, especially because like Ty, I'm so honored to sit here next to the mayor of Atlanta.
I'm telling you.
Audrey, scoot over.
Right.
Not
But it's like you have relationships with different types of people.
Yeah.
And in business, you connect with someone simply because you guys align and you share, you know, that space, or you share like a background. So I want to be able to be vulnerable, like, man, this is a lot, you know, today. That friendship may be for that, because I have a circle of friends. Everybody's not an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
For sure.
Some people are 9 to 5, so they don't understand this life over here. So I can be vulnerable with these people over here, but I want to know that if I tell you I only made $20 in May, are you gonna go out and tell everybody?
Exactly.
Because I don't want everybody knowing my business. I want to be able to tell my own. Let me tell my own story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just like, you know, stuff like that. So I do want it to be safe.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. I don't want you like crashing out on me and stuff like that, because then you hit everything. So yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, I love my friends like you. I have a few, and that's all I need.
Yeah.
But I appreciate my friends. Like, we're all flexible. Like, we can make plans, and then if we wake up and then say, I don't feel like doing that, it's like no hard feelings. It's like, okay, cool. I didn't feel like going outside today either, you know? So I love that. And then, like you said, having a full life. God has blessed me with people that, one, love me for me. So I appreciate that, because I'm a leader and I do so much for other people. So to have people in my life that have been with me before ministry, have been with me, you know, when I was in college, when I was in high school, me picking Chastity up, you know, us going to high school, I'm grateful for that, because that feels safe for me, that they see me, they recognize me, and I'm not in this space of just what I can give here. I can like just deep breath, put my head on their shoulders, and they understand. So I really appreciate having that in my friendships. I don't have to perform. I don't have to be on.
Yes.
They can see all the parts of me and not, oh, she's not less than a leader because she got a moment,
Right.
or because she's tired, or because she want to do something. You know, like I really appreciate my friends. They respect who I am in my role, but they allow me to be all of myself without judgment. And I need that.
Absolutely.
I grew up in a household where my mom did not have a lot of friendships, and I felt like because she didn't, she put a lot of expectation on the few relationships that she had. And so it's been one of my, like, man, I really want good friends that I can just talk to, like, girl, this is what happened. And God has given me that. So that's what I look for in friendships.
Yeah, that's good. It's like you don't have to perform.
Yeah.
It feels like peace. It doesn't feel like a performance.
Yeah.
You know,
on
that's
now.
good.
Relationships that feel like peace.
Yes, it feels like peace. Like,
more.
That's good. That's all I got. But that's good.
No, I'm saying, like,
No, that's
give me
like,
more of that, Lord.
right,
Yeah.
but no, but yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying, because I think everybody had their own version of a lot going on,
Yeah,
right?
that's
We
true.
all wear a lot of different hats. We're all, you know, in different spaces where we have to show up differently. And sometimes it takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of, you know, intentionality. And we do want those safe places where we can be vulnerable, where we can feel like, you know what, I can trust this conversation.
Yeah.
And then we're flexible. So I think everything that we've all shared here, and I'm sure people who are listening have so much other stuff that they have to share as well. But, you know, and that's why I say, what you define a friendship is subjective,
Yeah.
because everybody's needs is not the same.
Yeah.
So
That's
Good.
Do you feel like that's a conversation that, because I don't know if I got a lot of new friends, but do y'all feel like that's a conversation that needs to be had? Like when you first connect with someone, like you see, like, do you treat the friendship like a how does that work? So you understand you're on the same page when it comes to, let me back up. I've been in some friendships that I've had to have some conversations about, like, hey, I can't talk every day. Like, that's been one of the things I've had to express to one of my friends. Like, I love you, but I don't have the capacity to, like, talk to you every day. So do y'all feel like there's conversations that you need to have, or you just need to have them as they come up?
Proud of you for that.
Yeah, me too. Because
I ain't had
Because
the
I first
conversation.
wasn't just answering the
know.
phone.
Yes.
And I'm like, no,
'Cause
let
I
me
don't-
tell her that, hey, that's just not, that don't work for me.
and that's
I
good.
feel like
I'm
my
sorry,
real
because you wanted them to
my
talk to your
real
friends
do.
every
We
day.
talk
per
every
se.
day.
Yeah, bless your heart. I don't-
That's all right. That's, you know, whatever works for people.
Yeah.
But I think I'm not a person where I feel like everything needs a conversation.
For sure.
You know, I think everybody that's sitting here has some level of discernment.
Yeah.
So when you connect with someone and you meet someone initially, You know, you may meet them out in public, you may meet them through someone, you guys connect, and then you find some other time to, you know, connect on, you know, another level. Then from there, you can see, okay, I can pretty much discern what type of, you know, personality this person has, what their spirit is, you know, things like that. And as you continue to go on, you see things, you see certain things, but it's like, I don't, if you calling me every day, I'm questioning what kind of what you do.
You got any business.
You don't got no business about yourself. And I'm not even talking about having a business. I'm just saying there's so many other things that we can do with our time within a 24-hour period. I don't have the capacity for neediness. I'm a mother of one and a dog mom. Those two are already needy. So with that being said, I don't have time. I don't have the capacity for that. So, yeah, I don't.
I am on the other end, I guess. But one, I think is my love language is quality time. So, and I think we have very good conversation. So, and we still get work done. You know, and I think it depends on where we are. But I'm always checking in with my friends. Like, what do you need in this season? How can I be praying? So I am that friend. Like, hey, where are we? Because I do understand that, like, I am in a friendship right now that is shifting. And so I'm grieving the shifts. And normally I like to have a conversation and things like, but I'm realizing, like, because I'm evolving and she is too, that we're just in different spaces right now. So I'm happy
Girl,
to.
tell us how y'all done navigated through that. Because that was one of my questions.
Yeah.
Like, what happens when life changes, you start to evolve, and
Yeah.
what was is not anymore. So I'm sure we may have
Yeah.
some sisters listening that may be navigating through some of those shifts. What have you learned so far? Give us the tea.
Girl, one, I'm learning to be aware. Like, I'm more aware of what I need and where I am. And so I've had to voice, hey, this is where I am and I'm moving in this direction. And I understand that you may not be. And so, hey, where do we go from here? And I realized we were in a situation where she didn't share something like how she was feeling. And I could feel kind of like the discernment. Like, I can feel something's off.
But she's not communicating.
She's
that
not
sometimes.
communicating something's off. And I know, and it was nothing that I did. It was something that she's navigating through her own trauma. But now it's throwing our dynamic off. So now we have to have a conversation, like, what's going on. And so I'm having to pull out of you what it is and how do we, it's a lot.
And see, you know, those friendships where you feel like you have to carry the person.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
Is that, well, you said it's subjective. Like, is it?
it's subjective. But then we also, not saying this is you, of course, but we also insert ourselves into those roles.
A lot of times.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Without the other person asking us to be that, we insert ourselves into those roles. And I think I heard you say on another episode where, you know, something about being a savior.
Yeah.
And in friendships, sometimes just like because of the people that we are, all of us have great hearts. All of us want to be supportive. All of us want to show up for our friends in a way where we don't feel like we're being guilty if we miss out. But the reality of it is that you're not a savior. Some of us have a fixer complex, and we feel like that we can fix everything. Or you're going through or in everyone. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Like, you feel like you can fix everyone, and it's like you're not called to do that. We're not saviors, we're vessels. And so, you know, God can use us, and he can use us to, you know, to help people. But at the end of the day, our goal should be to lead people, you know, to discovering who they are and being self-aware. And of course, those relationships are, they get deep. They get really deep. And, you know, the older we get, because we are more self-aware, you realize, like you said, you grieve if that relationship is no longer there. And so when I was saying earlier, it's like I don't have the capacity for that because it takes so much energy.
It does.
And it takes so much out of you.
Yes.
And it's like,
Draining.
it's so draining. And it's like, you think about, if I insert myself into this relationship and I give my all, and this person is in a place where they're hurt, they're still healing, they
I can see
got
a
trauma,
season, but it's
they're
always
toxic, but it's always like come on out of that. You know what I'm saying? And there's resources for that. But I'm not the counselor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not the counselor. I'm not any of those. And I don't want that weight on me. You know what I'm saying? Unless God, like, you know, but I don't think God is going to do that, because that means that we would be playing him. And there's no room for him to be God in somebody else's life. And so I think it's very important for people to get to a place, because this is my thing. And I know
Silly.
this is a little left, but how long you gonna keep saying I didn't grow up like that, and I didn't have this, and I didn't have that?
yeah.
It's like you continue to make excuses for yourself. And of course, friendships mean is like, okay, this is a place of grace. We give grace. This is a place for trust and all of that. But grace is not an excuse for you to still be the same way you are.
Yeah.
Well,
Say
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
say
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
like it.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
You said something there that I had to take ownership of recently. And now back to that enabling. You know, sometimes when relationships end,
Yeah.
or they don't go the way we want them to go, if you're not careful, you can only see the other person and their flaws. But what I've had to sit in this season of my life with some of my friendships and relationships, because, and we'll talk about this in a second, I was dating someone that was also my friend. So I realized in that I enable a lot of the behavior that I was, you know, like, you fed into
Yeah.
this. I had to own the parts that I played. Like, hey, you aided in this person showing up this way. You aided in this friendship, and so that's been sobering for me as I've been, sitting in this season of my life of what behavior have I fed into and I've aided because of whatever reason. I've had to take ownership of some of those things and just come to a place of resolve. Like, hey, people can only do what you allow, what you put up with, what you know, when you don't speak up and say certain things are not okay, or just, you know, because a boundary is not a boundary if there's not a consequence. And so I think we stop the conversation of boundaries. That stops because we don't have consequences. So we'll say, which can become manipulation. So we'll say, oh, I'm not gonna do, okay, but when they cross that boundary, what happens?
Ooh-wee.
And then when people keep crossing boundaries and there's no consequence, there's no change of behavior or access, then that's what teaches them how to mistreat us or how not to value us. And I've had some relationships and friendships like that. And I've had to own that.
Yeah, I have two. One of my closest friends that I had, we're no longer friends anymore because there was like, I had to protect my things, right? My peace, my well-being. And you can only have a conversation with me so many times, and I'm like, girl, so are you going to change the situation? She was in a very toxic relationship, and it was like, girl, he did this today. Girl, I did this today. And you're calling me, and I'm like, hey, can you come get me? Okay, here I am. I'm coming to get you.
Yeah.
And the next time, okay, I'm coming to get you. But now I'm like, if you're not going to change your circumstances, if you're going to continue to allow it, I can't continue to be here to save you from yourself. Like, either you're going to stay in this toxic relationship and I'm going to help you, and or I'm going to be a good friend. Because I can't be a good friend to you knowing that you're doing this and you think you can call me every time. No, you're not going to dump on me every time you have a bad day. You're not going to call and complain about this man. And then the next day, be like, girl, oh, we going to get something? No.
Wait a time out. I'm still mad at him.
Right.
I'm still mad because that's like with her, with y'all too, but with this
Hold
one,
on.
when
Oh,
she
I thought
tell
you
me
was gonna say
something-
wait.
No, I'm saying when somebody do you wrong, it takes me like I'll forgive. Like you do me wrong,
Yeah, she
it's one
hard.
thing. When you do somebody wrong that I love, it takes a lot. I'm like, listen, because my people are good people.
Yeah.
I surround myself with good people that have good hearts, that they give their all. So when you mistreat them, like they done moved on, and I'm like, help me, Lord, because I'm ready to, like, and I think that's that protector. Like, you done seen it, because you like, your years is real hard. You like, when that happened?
We'll talk about it later. But yeah, that's a real thing. And like my breaking point, because I was like, for that particular friendship, homegirl ran her car through his garage and was like, come get me. Girl, this
Time
the
out.
last time. This the last
Wait,
time.
I think that's another episode.
Right, we gotta talk about that. We
I
gotta
think
unpack that.
that's
That's
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, you don't want better for yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're good here, and I can't continue to give you my energy because you're not listening. it's getting
That's
worse.
a
And the
real
last thing, yeah,
thing.
because I'm like, then one day I'm gonna get a call that you in jail or dead. I'm not interested.
Yeah,
I'm not interested. When you get ready to leave this and be,
I'm here.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm a recovering people pleaser.
Mm.
Like I want to please you just to make it work. Even in my friendships, like I want you to like, we're gonna be friends. We're gonna make this work. And now I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Proud of you.
So, but yeah,
Come on.
yes.
I'm proud of you as well. You know, something about that, I'm going to move on, but like, what?
It's a real thing.
I think, but that is a real thing. I've had to also learn in my relationships. Like, you can love people, but you have to let them be wherever they are if that's what they choose to be.
Yeah.
Like, you have to do that. Like you said, I'll keep it.
Oh.
There's a level of, because there are some people I feel assigned to. But y'all, I spent so much energy, time, and therapy money on people who aren't ready to change.
Yeah.
I saw their potential. We talk about this often, in business with, people's purposes. You can see their potential. They tell you, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna do this. And you that friend or that person that's like, let's go. What we doing today? How we doing this? And then months go by, no change. Months go by, no change. And I'm like, Brittany, you gotta learn how to love people, but leave them.
Yeah.
That's good.
Love them enough to leave them
Yep.
where they wanna stay.
Yep.
And love yourself enough
Yes.
to leave them as well.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it's a self-love thing. I don't want to sit around and watch toxicity.
And the thing is, I was putting all this energy in trying to get other people to pursue their purpose, and I'm not even being fully obedient in my own.
Yeah.
I'm putting all this energy, money, time, and okay, you got it, and it's like, okay, you could be putting it. Not saying you're not supposed to support people,
Absolutely.
but what is that in you that you want to push everybody else, but then you can't even be consistent in your own? Those are the type of conversations I've been having with myself. I don't know about
You know what? There's this saying that I always say, going back to your point of like wanting to see your friends do better, because you are aware and it's very clear about like what God has done in your life and where you journeyed from,
Yeah.
and the fruit is evident. And then there are people who are just in the same place, where those are high school friends, college friends, or, family members or whomever, and you're growing and you're like, oh my God, y'all have to experience this. Like y'all, it's a whole world out here. Like there are people, they're doing nothing, they just doing a lot of things. Like you got experiences, but the truth of the matter is people don't want it like you want it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Say
Right?
that one more time.
People don't want it like you want it.
Yeah.
And not only do they not want it like you want it, like they may want it, but their mindset isn't there.
Yeah.
And so it's like they see it and they dream about it, but it's like they can't move past themselves. And if I've gotten to the point where I say, you know what, if enabling you is damaging me, then this can't be a thing because
Yeah.
I'm not putting you before me.
Yeah.
That's people pleasing.
Yeah.
That is a form of people pleasing.
Yeah.
And I think like we get so caught up in that because we love hard. We truly love hard. We want the best for everyone. We see the potential, like you said, in everyone. But the thing is, it's like you gotta want it for yourself more than I want it for you.
Yeah, and we talk about like relationships being equally yoked. That's a thing for friendships.
Yeah,
too.
because it's a form of a relationship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to make sure you're on the same wavelength as me.
Yeah.
Because there were the friends who I had when I was clubbing, hanging out every weekend. But guess what? That's not where I am anymore. So our interests aren't even the same. Like, so that changes the dynamic of our relationship.
That's just one thing I say. I posted it on social media not so long ago, and I said relationships are currency. Like it's a form of a currency. Like it adds value to your life. Relationships hold value, and when you align with people that are on the same wavelength as you, they have the same mentality, they are ambitious, they're operating in an abundant life, and I'm not even attaching that to anything monetary. I'm just saying like they have an abundant mindset. That's who you want to be around.
Yeah.
There was a saying, you are the 5 closest people, like your mom said, you're the 5 closest people next to you. So if you look around and you're the only one that is growing in spirit, in mind, in body, in physical, and nobody else is doing that, you are in the wrong circle. You have to go out there and you have to meet new people to align yourself with, because friends can keep you stuck.
Mm.
Because you trying to have a conversation with them about like, yeah, this is what I'm networking, I'm getting out
Talking
here.
about it's the same.
And they talking about the same old, like y'all, and it's nothing wrong with talking about, because I do it. It's nothing wrong with talking about, some of these shows and just going on and all that. But if you know more of their business
Come
Right.
on.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
And where you trying to go? Yeah.
and you don't even have a 3-year plan, a
Yeah.
5-year plan or anything like
Or the
that.
people who don't have faith.
No,
So they
exactly.
be like, oh, if I was you, you're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Like, you're
Me.
not me.
No, thank you.
You're not.
You're not.
You're not me.
You're
You
not.
live super safe. Like, we faith in it over here, baby.
Right.
Listen,
Baby,
that's all
go
we got.
for it. You
Every
want to bring up, go for it. How can I support
Yes,
you?
exactly.
And that's one of the things I love about all of y'all, particularly in the 20 plus years of me being friends with Chastity. Like, I've seen friends that compete with, and I think one of the things I love most about you is how supportive you and how the cheerleader you are. Like, you spoke things into me when I did not see it. You believed in me when I did not see it in myself. You've been saying that's who you are. That like, and she like the real hype friend. But what I love about you is you don't hype what you don't believe in.
Yeah.
Some people are just hype
Just
because
to hype
to
it,
hype.
yeah.
But you only gonna speak it if you believe it. And so I just
for
thank you
sure.
for showing. I don't even know what that's like because you've been the type of friend that's been so supportive. I asked her about this yesterday. She didn't even have the details. And she was like, okay, I'm free, I'm there.
I thought I was coming to be a part of a live
Yeah, she
audience.
thought she was a part of it. I said, no, ma'am. The audience is going to be watching you. That's what we're doing.
said,
You got
what?
something to share. So I believe that's another.
I'm just glad because I didn't have lashes on at the time. And before we started recording, I was, I announced to the group that I now know how to do clusters. Y'all clap it
Period.
up
That's
for
my
me.
friend.
Lashes. And so,
That's my
yeah. But you know what? Just full transparency, since we are here talking about friendships, and I think this is a thing within friendships. Like we like to see the growth.
Yeah.
And even just going back to our relationship, and I know you both as well, like to see like our growth. Even
Yeah.
over a 20-year span, over a 10-year span, over a 2, whatever. It's like, it's so amazing. And I want I'm a girl's girl.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, say woman, but of course all people, but I want everyone to experience that because relationships should be life-giving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like these are your life partners. And if I'm doing life with somebody, I want us to I want to be able to show up as my flawed self,
Yeah.
free of judgment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just learned how to do lashes at 38. Like,
Yes.
yeah, that was
We celebrated you.
And we celebrate that.
And now you're going to teach
Yes.
me. So, you know, I have twinsies.
I mean, I'm like, it's the little things like that, aside from, because life has so much going on.
Yeah.
And if we can just laugh and if we can just talk and we can just let our hair down,
Yeah.
like that does more for people than anything else.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
sometimes that's what people need. So I can definitely understand when you say, yeah, I want to talk to my friends every day, because sometimes I just need that good laugh. I just need that good kiki. You know what I'm saying? But for me, that looks like is sharing memes on social media.
Yes, that's a love language. Sharing memes on social is a love language.
Yes.
See, I
Cause
done
I
tried
got
to
that.
welcome them in. This one, she be.
I
the
be
other
for
ones
it.
be
I
telling
be
me,
for
get log off the internet. This is funny. I'm not logging out. This is my come down. I'm coming down.
Yes.
But I agree with that.
Yes.
One thing I want to say is that equally yoked does not mean the same.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we can block what God is trying to do because we're looking for people to
Same,
be exactly
yeah.
like us. Baby, you don't need another you.
I don't want another.
Please, because I'm a lot.
You don't need another you. And I think the beauty of my friendships is like learning to, and even with my sister and other relationships, learning how to appreciate and accept people for who they are
Yeah.
and the unique value they bring to your life. Like God is in balance in your life. Like this one, she really like, Brittany, I'll be like, okay, let me get out of my head. You're right, let's laugh. Like God knows what you need
Yep.
and it comes in diversity. And I think we have to be open to that. She challenged me. Y'all, all of y'all challenged me. Like, that's not how I see that. And I need that. Like, when
Yeah.
I wasn't as mature, I didn't really like that. I didn't like, but now I go back to Chastity all the time. I'm like, you used to tell me I should be doing this, and I didn't want to hear it. But now 15 years later, I see what you're talking about. But now as I'm maturing, then I'm like, yeah, I need people to see things differently from me.
Yeah.
See my blind spots. How do you see it? Let me learn from you. Let me grow from you. She always telling me, girl, you need to look this up. You need to look that up. You telling me, okay, now let's do it like this. And I'm like, that makes my life better, being diverse and not the same.
But you know
So-
what else? We don't need yes friends in our life.
Say it
Say
again.
that.
We don't need yes friends.
Say it
I don't
again.
want 'em.
We don't need yes friends
Say it
because
again.
someone on the outside looking in would, who would love access to this space,
Yeah.
right? To what is being built in this space. They'll come in not knowing how to, what's the word? They'll come in not knowing what to do with it. But people who have walked on the journey with you,
Yeah.
they'll come in and want to give you yes to everything. Yes, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, let's do this. Yes, they won't challenge you, like you said.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody that's gonna give me a yes to every single thing I do.
Come on.
How can I grow if you telling me yes all the time?
Exactly.
I need somebody to tell me no. Even yeah, that too. I need to.
It's a certain way you have to present it to Chastity. I know how to present everything to everybody on this table. So you have to offer it, ladies, as a suggestion to certain, like, have you thought about it this way? Okay,
See?
well, what makes you think about that? Okay, boom.
That
that's-
she
boom.
don't have to do me like that,
Boom,
but she
boom, and
does
then she
it.
be like, "Oh yeah, you right," and then Holy Spirit, and then boom,
Bro, she
boom.
doesn't have to present it to me like that. She just
I like
does
to.
that.
I like to. 'Cause
I
I don't
just-
ever want my people to feel like.
But
I'm
I like
trying
it
to tell you what
straight.
to do.
But I like it straight. Like
You
you
do.
just need to do it like I like. Oh, okay, you know what? Yeah. But like everybody's communication style is
That's
different.
true.
You
That's
know what
true.
I'm saying?
We got the
And so-
straight shooters on this side of the room.
Yeah. Cause what we doing all that, but what we doing smoke for? What do we sugarcoat anything? Just tell me what, cause we wasting time. Come on, just-
I'm gonna give you a little sandwich though, but I've been cutting down my sandwich time because I don't have no choice but to get to the point now. But I'm still gonna give you a sandwich.
I love that.
I'm still gonna affirm you and give you some love, cut you, and then I'm gonna bandage you back up.
Yeah.
So I'm still gonna get a sandwich. And I think that's because I got so many people.
Yeah, I think that's, but and like I was saying about the communication styles and then being in different like worlds almost. Like corporate taught me get straight to the point.
Yeah.
I was only there for 22 months, but it taught me get straight to the point. Entrepreneurship has taught me get straight to the point. Now there are things that you do in love,
Yeah.
especially as a leader. Brittany is
sure.
a leader. Y'all, everyone on the stage is a leader. But you do definitely have to do things in love and be mindful of the who's on your team
Yeah.
and how to communicate to them.
That's
But
wise,
and then also the same thing with your friends. You have to know their communication style.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind that, but that's not a need for me.
For sure.
And it goes back to like what she was saying about well, that's my love language. You know, it's like you have to know how to speak to a person how they want to be loved, how they want to be communicated. Because it's like if it's anything else, sometimes I see it as fluff. It's like,
Yeah.
are you now? I know Brittany is being sincere, but everybody is not being sincere when
Yeah.
they do that. You know what I'm saying?
And I think some topics, they're tender, right? So I know like what I can just be like, boom, because I've built that relational
For sure.
collateral with you all, but I also
Yeah.
know the areas where you're tender.
Yeah.
And so I'm not gonna, just my personal, how I approach it, I'm not gonna straight shoot you when I know this is something you walking through, this is something that's real tender for you, this is something like, okay, boom, I'm gonna bring it as a suggestion. But if I know, hey, no, we good in this area and I feel confident that this will be received well, because I think sometimes we gauge things off of intention. Like, oh, I meant
yeah.
this, but no, how did the person receive it?
Yeah.
And you take in consideration, those things. And so I think for me, I try to be mindful of the people that I love, where they are, where they're walking in, what they're walking in, what they're walking out, and then, communicate from there.
Yeah, that's good.
So
It's beautiful.
isn't that
She
beautiful?
said it's beautiful.
What because you just said you just gonna say it.
She do.
You have evolved. You have. I was thinking about you this morning, from when I first got to Atlanta to now. You have just blossomed. How you share, and what you share, and when you share.
Shout out to Ty.
Shout out to
Still room for improvement for sure.
always, all of us.
Because I feel like sometimes, and I need to just slow down. Because it's not always what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
So that is an area of growth for me. Because what you just said makes sense. Like I have to think about your perception of it. I may not do the best job at that all the time because this how I feel.
Yeah.
So that's
And then like work mode us. You know, I feel like we need thick skin because when we do a lot of, events and stuff. So we under pressure, we getting stuff done. We just got back, from Arizona? We was a team of 3 the first day, a team of 5. Like, we got to get it done. So I think another thing you have to do is too, like, check yourself first. If you feeling offended by something, is this a you thing? Is this another person thing? Because I've learned sometimes it's a fam, you need to, she didn't even mean it like that. Why you taking it? What's that rubbing up against you and you? Why you feeling some type of way when, so I think it's a combination of those.
For sure. And I think your people know you too, right? And once you've done life and you do things so long with certain people, it's to be expected.
Facts.
Because I have a business and my best friends were working with me at one time. They already know, like, this is work mode, Ty.
Yeah.
This is my husband worked with me one time and he was like, never again.
Why Sherrod say that?
Because we got to go home.
He was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
And I had to respect that.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
I noticed like to have help in that area, but he's like, this is not for me, and I'm okay with that. Like, and I
And
think
it's
that's good for
mature.
us to have like boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Sure.
this works for me. I can be this person for you, but I can't be this person for you. Or I'm this person for
That's
you in
good.
this season, but not right here. Like, let me find another way to support because
Yeah.
this may not
Oh,
be
that
it.
that can save a lot of relationships. Because let's talk about the relationships that's cut off prematurely. I feel like those type of conversations and that level of maturity to say, hey, this part I can't do, but what else can I do? How else can I show up and support you?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Proud of my brother.
So the
So,
boundaries real fast.
so how do y'all do friendships with the opposite sex?
I have great friendships with the opposite sex because
Girl chest.
yeah, I'm the home girl for sure. I'm very open-minded. I see all perspectives. So when my homeboys, they come to me and they talk to me, they see me like the homegirl, like the sister, but I'm like the safe place as well. So it's like no judgment here. I am going to tell you about yourself. I'm definitely going to tell you about yourself. If you're coming to me talking about you and your partner, I'm going to tell you about yourself. But yeah, I have good relationships with men, and I think that's so interesting because I got good relationships and friendships, but I don't know what be going down in these romantic relationships. But that's not this episode, right? That's not this episode.
I'll invite you back this
Invite me
Yeah,
back.
we'll do a part 3.
Invite me back. Invite me back for that one. But yeah, I have good relationships.
So
with those.
has the lines ever got blurred? Because I just thought about this.
Yes.
We often talk about friend zone, like putting males in friend zone. But what does that look like when the woman is put in friend zone? When you're seen as like the home girl, and it's like, hey, like I'm looking for, some more than just being the friend. Why keep, I wonder if that's a thing that women experience. I just thought
It
about
probably is.
I don't have male friends, so I
Yeah.
have
Me
One
neither.
time,
you're
me and you were at the mall, and I forgot what we were doing, and these guys came up to us, and they said, to me, I'm married. And I was like, oh, I need to start saying that when I don't.
They have rings on like Amazon that you can buy.
I was like, baby, that thing was a repellent because I didn't want to be bothered that day with
Yeah,
the brothers
because-
either.
And it is how they came
But
off.
it
was-
stopped
some
them
people are
because-
respectful. Some
Yeah.
guys come off as they were just. It
was.
wrong from the start.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, bye.
Yeah.
Have a good
Yes.
one.
I
So
said,
that's a
ring.
good one, Ty. That's good, Ty. That's good, Ty. Do it again. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I had the wrong hand up. But anyway, I'll never forget that. I was like, oh, that's the energy. Okay, get it. I got it. So have y'all had those conversations in your marriage though? Like, does your husband have female friends? Or how does that work in y'all's relationship?
Yeah, so he does. And his friends, I am friends with. Like, not friends, but they're like, I'm cool with them. Like, we can go in any session setting, and I'd be okay with them. I'm okay. My husband is a very friendly guy.
Yes, he is.
He loves everybody. He is just the happiest, funniest person ever. So he gets along with everyone. I haven't had good experiences with male friends. And so I think for me right now, just steer clear. It's not, I'm having a hard time balancing my
Well, you have
female
your
friendships.
brothers, like your friends' husbands. You consider them like brothers? Well, I guess not like friends though.
Nah.
Some of them. It's a little tender right now.
Fact.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. Again, I don't use the friend word
That makes
loosely,
sense.
right?
Okay.
So while the ladies are my friends, I don't consider the guys to be my friends because there's like certain things that I'm gonna talk about, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
There's certain boundaries, and so I don't consider them friends. Like we are in a friend group for sure.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
But I'm not picking up my phone to call my friend's husband. Like,
Yeah.
oh, guess what? Like, I'm not.
Absolutely. That's respect and
Yeah.
balance. And
That
honor
sound
that,
like it.
honoring that relationship. That's very important. Honoring, other people's relationships.
For sure.
Yeah. I love that.
I appreciate my friendships. One, because I think we talked about kind of vulnerability and all the things, but like I have conversations where we can like refine. So I might share how I really feel, but I can show up in a space like I've thought through my answer, I've thought through my response. Because a lot of times I could show up with a response that's probably not the best. So I appreciate that in my
So do you
friendship.
have male friends? That's what we really was trying to.
Oh, I don't have any male friends.
Okay, why not?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't
Because
know.
you wait, the pastor's wife.
Brittany, do you have male friends? Brittany,
The
do you
pastor's
have
wife.
male
I'm
friends?
gonna share. Yeah, I'm gonna share.
Okay. 'Cause she everybody else.
Yeah, because I'm
Hey,
gonna
she
ask
doing
God,
that.
and then I'm gonna
Because
share
sometimes
mine.
she be forgetting to answer the question.
I
I'm
do.
like,
I got
Exactly.
a lot going on in my mind. So I got little cheap notes. Okay, so I have not had the best experiences with male friends. Earlier on, it's like you, I was like, okay, they're homegirl, and then it becomes more. Like I wasn't the girl and growing up that like the guys picked initially, right? So that wasn't
Yeah.
my thing. But once people got to know me as a person and my personality, so when I was growing up, it wasn't like, oh, I was the most attractive person, had all the curves and all of that.
Yeah.
So then, okay, cool, that. But then when we got to, oh, let's build a friendship, because that's my homegirl. When they got to know me, now it's all these blended lines. And I'm like, no, you my brother, like you my friend. But now, oh, you feel safe, and oh, I can talk to her. Like, and they may not have seen the exterior, but now they've seen the interior, and now the lines have gotten bluer. So I dealt with a lot of that. And so now it's just like,
When you say blur lines, you mean like they're trying to like date you? Like
yes, like
attracted
it's
to you?
more,
Okay.
it's more than like I see you still as a friend, but now you see this as something else because now you've gotten to know me as a person. And that kept happening over and over and over again. So it's like, okay, can I just be friends like with the guy without him getting to know me and then it becoming something else? So.
I think for me too, I think it's because of my relationships with my fathers. I think why I probably stood clear of like having male friendships because how I felt through them, like through that.
So you been anti-men?
Yeah, I'll be honest.
So have you been the chick that's like all men?
No. And I've had like relationships, like but I think I'm also like, hey, this is where I see my life going. This is my vision of my life and all the things. And if you don't have it together, not that I'm perfect, but like some sense of like where you're going, what you want for your life, then I'm like, hey, I'm cool on that. And so.
Okay.
understandable.
Okay. So what would you tell a sister that's watching right now, and maybe, because I've heard some sisters talk about friendship breakups, having a hard time finding friends. What would you share with a sister as we kind of, ending the episode? What would some words of encouragement as she's navigated through being a good friend, but also her friendships as a woman?
First of all, I would tell her you are enough,
That's good.
because I think sometimes women feel like they have to be something else to fit in.
Yeah.
And you have to be self-aware. You have to know who you are. You're enough.
good.
So if you see women and you aspire to be, at a place where they are, or to be, around them, position yourself just like we position ourselves to be seen in business, for romantic relationships, all those things. Go where you are celebrated, not where
That's
you are
good.
tolerated.
Say that again.
What did I say?
Go
Where you are celebrated,
and
not where you're
tolerated.
tolerated. Yeah, do that. Go and show up in those spaces, because even if, no matter if you're in your 20s, you're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, I've never been one of those people where Drake says no new friends. I welcome new friendships. I've just, use strong discernment and, make sure that they reciprocate, what you are looking for,
Yeah.
and that they align. And
Yeah.
so if you're not finding that in the relationships that you're currently in, those friendships that you're currently in, then go out and seek it, because those women are looking for you just as well as you're looking for them.
That's good.
Really good. For me, community is needed, right? I believe that we shouldn't do life alone.
Yeah.
I believe we need to express how we feel. Even as a married woman, like you have, like in the beginning, I was like, my husband is my best friend. Like he can't be my best friend. Like he can't know. Like sometimes I just need to say and have female conversations that I don't necessarily need to give to my husband because he's navigating his own thing. So I think it is important that we have community, that we're open, that we're honest, that we have a place where we can be transparent, because like it is like anxiety and depression, all those things happen when we're like being a hermit, and we can't be like that. Like God has called us to be community and to have people and do life with people, and I think it's so important that we have people that we can talk to, that we can get advice from, that they can encourage us. So I think it's just that community is needed. You need to be able to talk to somebody.
That's
Good.
I would say be authentic and be vocal. One, be who you are, and then also vocalize what you need. Because I think sometimes we can show up for other people and not allow other people to show up for us.
So good. Well, y'all, I didn't even want this conversation to end. I feel like the ladies have already said what they needed to say. We hope this was helpful. We hope that you laughed a little bit, maybe cried a little bit, but we hope that you are encouraged in your friendship journey. And we're just excited about, all the friend things. So until next time, we'll see y'all. Bye.